Hello again, my DIY loving friends, and welcome to Medicated Housewife DIY, where crafting and mental health come together. Transform your home this fall with budget-friendly and stylish Dollar Tree DIY hacks for high-end decor. Creative and affordable ways to elevate your living space and add a touch of elegance without breaking the bank. So what are you waiting for? Let's go DIY together. For this first DIY, I'm starting with this clear plastic plant tray from Dollar Tree, as well as 3 of these plastic cordial shot glasses that come in a pack, also from Dollar Tree. I spray painted the tray and the glasses with some Rust-Oleum flat black spray paint, which I will link for you in the description box below. I'm going to make a mixture of Faux chalk paint in the color Castle, which I will link for you below, and I mix it with a little Dollar Tree chalkboard paint to darken it up, and a little bit more charcoal color looking. And also I'm going to put a good amount of plain baking soda in there to add some greeny texture to the mix. I use a piece of a damp kitchen sponge to apply the paint mixture, and I'm dabbing it on, and then I use the clean side of the sponge to kind of dilute that color and spread it out, make it not so heavy and solid looking in all of the areas where I think that paint coverage is just a little too heavy. I'm going for kind of an old iron kind of a look for this project, like it's made out of very old beat up metal or something like that. I use the same sponge method to paint the inside and the outside of the plastic tray, and also all over all 3 of those shot glasses. Then I'm going to allow all of those pieces to fully dry. Once dry, I turn the tray upside down and assemble the shot glass legs on the bottom, spaced out kind of like a triangle shape. I use some hot glue to attach the shot glasses on the bottom side and glue that bottom side to the bottom side of the tray. And I really just eyeballed the spacing of those shot glass legs. I didn't measure them. I really just winged it. And just like that, I have this amazingly rustic metal-looking pedestal bowl, absolutely perfect for the upcoming colder season's home decor. I love the beat-up metal look to this bowl, and I think the shape of the shot glasses make really interesting kind of modern meets rustic legs. A totally easy, upscale-looking piece of decor. This next DIY begins with this glass cylinder vase from Dollar Tree, and also this roll of paper-thin wood veneer trim that I got on Amazon, and I will link it for you below. I don't have a lot of experience using this wood veneer, but I thought it would work perfectly for this project, and it's fairly easy to use as you can cut it with regular scissors. I measured and cut 2 pieces of veneer to fit around the top and the bottom diameter of the vase, and then I put those aside, and I cut 8 pieces of veneer long enough to fit that height of the whole vase, plus a little extra length over that height. I probably cut 10 pieces of them, although I only needed 8, but you guys know I like to have extra. I'm using a mixture of plain water mixed with Faux antique wax, which I will link for you below, to paint the top sides of those veneer pieces. And since they are actually wood, they take the antique wax really nicely, gives it a nice warm wood tone. I use a dry paper towel to wipe off any excess wax, and I am painting all the pieces of the veneer that I cut this way, including those 2 pieces that I cut to fit around the vase diameter. They're all getting the same antique wax and water treatment. To attach the first piece of veneer to the top edge of the vase, I am using this Gorilla Glue Super Glue Gel, and I will link it for you below. Some of you know I am a little super glue challenged, so using this in a DIY for me is always an adventure, but I am feeling brave today, so we will give this a go. For this top edge, at least I have these Dollar Tree clips to hold the first piece of veneer in place on that top edge until it securely dries. To attach the second piece of veneer around the bottom of the vase, I can't use the clips for that, so I use some blue painter's tape to help hold that veneer in place until that glue can set up. While the bottom of the vase is drying, I take my first 4 pieces of veneer for the length of the vase, and I am going to attach them spaced out into 4 quarters vertically onto the top piece of the veneer that's going around the diameter of the top, as you can see me doing right here. I use those little clips again to hold each of these 4 vertical pieces of veneer in place while the glue sets. Then I take the next 4 pieces of veneer and I am going to attach one in between each of the already glued pieces of veneer. There are 4 that are already glued. Hopefully that makes sense to you. So this way I have 8 fairly evenly spaced out pieces of veneer that are vertically attached going around the length of the vase. Simple process, but I probably made it sound much more difficult than it had to be. Once the vertical pieces have dried on top, I flip the vase over and I am going to attach the bottom ends of the vertical veneer pieces to the bottom of the vase, using more super glue and some more blue painter's tape to hold those ends in place as they dry. I wanted all the vertical pieces to kind of balloon out toward the bottom of the vase, which is why I cut them a longer length than the actual height of the vase. And if that's confusing, you can always pause the video and replay to watch exactly what I'm doing. And I do end up leaving the painter's tape on until I am sure that the glue has securely set up. I traced the bottom of the vase onto the back of a piece of self-adhesive cork from Dollar Tree, and then I cut that circle out. Once I had removed the blue painter's tape from the bottom of the vase, I placed the self-adhesive cork onto that vase bottom. I felt like the whole thing was a little monotone, so I grabbed this self-adhesive faux leather that I had in my stash. I'll link it for you below. It's basically like leather-looking duct tape on a roll. You could also use the Dollar Tree faux leather or faux leather ribbon if you can find it, and I can't find it, so I'm using this instead. If you do end up using Dollar Tree leather, you will have to use your own adhesive to make it stick. Now, I like to fold the self-adhesive leather in half onto itself, so technically it's no longer self-adhesive, but I think folding it in half makes it look more leather strap or ribbon-like, so that is how I like to use it. I'm using hot glue to then attach my faux leather ribbon or strap to both that top edge of the vase and the bottom, basically just completely covering up those first 2 pieces of veneer that we wrapped around that top and bottom diameter, but that's okay because I think the addition of the dark brown leather really improves the overall look, so I really don't mind the added work. And this is my wood and leather lantern or candle holder, and honestly, you guys, I just fell in love with the upscale and high-end feel of this lantern. I think I want to make a couple more in different heights to use as a grouping on a table. I think this is so elegant and an easy way to really scale up a simple Dollar Tree glass vase. For this next DIY, we are using another plastic plant tray from Dollar Tree, and I am also using some really thick nautical rope I got on Amazon, and I will link it for you below, but you can totally use Dollar Tree nautical rope to do this too. I'm using hot glue to secure the rope to the middle of the bottom of that tray. And from there, we are just going to simply wrap the rope around itself in a circle until the entire tray bottom is covered with rope, as you can see me do right here. And we're just going to use hot glue to secure it every so often to make sure that it stays flat against the tray. Next, I take this small wood knob or draw pull that I had from my stash, but I will link something similar for you down below. I used some hot glue to attach the knob to the top middle of the rope covered tray, and as I looked at it, I felt like it needed to have a deeper wood color. So I gave it a quick coat of antique wax mixed with water to deepen that wood color just a little bit. Now, originally I was going to use this small vase from Dollar Tree, but I definitely needed something bigger for this. And I had this glass vase from an old flower delivery. I kept it for a rainy day, and today is that day. It was a perfect size. I filled the vase about 3/4 of the way with Dollar Tree river rocks and also put in a string of fairy lights kind of throughout the river rocks. Then I took this Dollar Tree puck light to attach to the inside middle of the rope covered bowl. And here is my rustic rope and rock light, and I wasn't sure how this would work, but I really like the earthy kind of neutral vibe it has. It's lovely as accent lighting at night, and I just really think it's a simple way to put together rope and rocks to make something beautiful. This next DIY starts with 3 wooden dowels. You can use the dowels from Dollar Tree, or I'll link these that I'm using below. I took 2 of the dowels, and using my handy clippers, which I have talked about before, these things cut through anything, and I will link them for you below. I cut 2 of the dowels in half, and it doesn't have to be exact. We may trim them more later. On a piece of parchment paper, I place 1 full dowel down, and I assemble the 4 cut pieces of dowel around it to resemble tree branches. And I am using some hot glue to attach the dowel branch pieces to that dowel tree to keep them in place while we work. We will worry about securing everything down later, but for now we are just going to place everything where we want it to be. At the last minute, I decided to attach 2 smaller pieces of the dowel at the very top of the tree. Now remember, there are no rules with this. It's your tree. You can do whatever you want to do with it. Next, I have a bunch of bamboo skewers from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut a bunch of them into various lengths. These are going to be the smaller branches and twigs that are going to be attached to these larger tree branches. So we're using some more hot glue to decide where I want to place those smaller branches and how many to use on each of the larger branches. Then we're simply going to just glue them into place. Again, we'll worry about securing them later on, and you can use as many smaller branches as you'd like. It's your tree, your rules. Once all my branches are placed, I am using my full-size hot glue gun to seriously douse this tree in hot glue. We really want everything to stick together securely, so using lots and lots of hot glue at this stage is what needs to happen. So go wild with your hot glue. Then we're going to flip the tree over, and because it's on parchment paper, it doesn't stick to the paper. We are going to go hot glue crazy all over this side of the tree, like we did with the other, making sure all of our branches are then firmly attached. I switched to my smaller hot glue gun to really give the tree lots of peaks and valleys and raised edges, giving all those branches more depth and dimension. And at this point, all of those branches are so encased in hot glue, they are not going anywhere. I do this to both sides of the tree. Then I'm going to take the tree outside and spray both sides with some Rust-Oleum Bright Shiny Gold, which I will link for you below. While the tree is drying, I take this wood box that was painted from a previous project. It's one of those wood drawers at Dollar Tree. I am painting it with Apple Barrel Matte Black paint, which I will link for you below. Both outside the whole box and the inside walls, they're going to be completely covered with the black paint. Once the tree is dry, it is pretty heavy from all of that hot glue. So I fill my black box up with some black river rocks from Dollar Tree, which are heavy enough to hold the tree upright and to keep that entire thing from falling over. And here is my gold tree, and look, for something made almost entirely out of hot glue and paint, it's not bad. Can't say I love it, but I don't hate it either. There's always one, right? One project in every video. I swear I don't do that on purpose. It literally just happens. Let me know in the comments. Is it a winner or a loser? You make the call. And as usual, I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments which one of these Dollar Tree DIY hacks for high-end decor was your favorite and why. I love hearing from all of you. And if you've enjoyed this DIY video, there's another one waiting for you. Just click the link on your screen for more Medicated Housewife DIYs. Thanks for watching, and until next time, my name is Sarah. I'm the Medicated Housewife, and crafting is my medication.